Hey guys, today on Red Dog Bushcraft, I thought we'd start another home project, something that you two can do right here in the backyard. I was able to pick up this nice 100% cotton. This is an Eddie Bauer jacket. It's a nice outside, I don't know, kind of a woodsy design. I liked it anyway, and I just happened to find it in a tall long, which is exactly what I like to have in a jacket that I would wear out when I'm practicing my bushcraft. So I wanted to treat this. I wanted to make it waterproof, and I wanted something that was traditional. So I thought I would try to turn it into an oilcloth type material, or some type of like a tin skin, some people call it. To do that, we're going to mix equal ratios in an old can. This one right here is boiled linseed oil, and this one is the odorless mineral spirits. Combine those together, stir them up real good, just put them in an old paint can and use a cheap disposable paintbrush, and we're just going to start coating it. And once I have completed the coating process, I've got everything saturated the way I want it, I'm going to take it and hang it up and put it in the shed out here. So it's out of the direct sunlight, but to where we can have some breezes and some airflow. It's going to take several days for this thing to dry, and I'm not sure if we're going to have to do the inside later on or not. But stay with me as we go along on this journey, and I'll bring you in and out, and we'll see how this new jacket turns out. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, first step is to just mix up our chemicals, and we're going to go 50-50. I like to use these old chuck full of nut cans because this first line here is equal to 2 of these lines, so I can use that as a measuring device on the inside. And I'm going to small batch mix this because I don't know how much we're going to need. And I do have a can of it over here that I've used in the past, but it's several months old, and since this is such a nice jacket and it's brand new, I don't want to take a chance of that stuff being old and getting an uneven color or such. I'll just take an old piece of fat wood stick here and mix this up. Now that we've got that mixed up, we're pretty much ready to go. You'll see here I've taken an old painter's cloth. This is something that I plan on treating also, so I don't care if I get some spillage on this. I've laid it out, I've brushed it off, and our challenge today is it's fall and the leaves are falling, so we'll try to keep that off of our garment. So we'll brush this off, get the garment down here, and get to painting it. Well, I've got the coat laid out, and I went ahead and did the collar on the outside and the inside, and I do not plan on coating this garment on both sides. My plan is to just do the outside, but because the collar is visible when it's rolled up and rolled down, or how you're wearing it, I went ahead and I did that. Now this stuff is going on just like water. I think the hardest part is going to be keeping it from dripping all over the place and making sure that I get my edges good, so I'm concentrating on that first. Kind of let it drip off, going past my other areas and getting right on this seam. And I'll do that all the way around in each panel that I plan on working on. And I'm trying to use the seams of the garment as my guideline for that, so that in case this stuff starts to dry faster than I'm working with it, I don't forget what area I have a coat on. I don't really want to second coat it because I want to try to find out how much of this mixture is it going to take to do a coat or a garment like this. Try to get some idea. But the other reason is I don't want to coat it twice in some sections and once in other sections and wind up with a different color. If there's some modeling to the coat, I guess that'll be okay. I mean, I am doing it as an outside woodsy type project. I mean, but I don't want to create that just out of carelessness. I want to try to be careful and get a single coat on everything as much as I can. I actually considered mixing this up in a 5-gallon bucket and doing it like I did the oilcloth that I made out of the large bed sheet, and I just took that and put it down in the 5-gallon bucket loosely fed it in there and completely saturated it, and then wrung it out and hung it up. And I considered that with the coat, but well, I did that, so I want to try something a little bit different with this one. So I don't think any of you are going to want to sit here and watch me just paint. So as I get this done, I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, well, we got that all done. The coat is completely saturated, and I put it on a hanger, and now I'm going to hang it on a hook that I made on the back side of the shed here. So it's not in direct sunlight, it's on the underhang side, but yet it's still outside. A little bit of caution here. You know that anytime you work with chemicals like this, they always recommend that you leave them laying out. And when you're using shop rags with boiled linseed oil, there's been a lot of fires from people wadding those up, throwing them in trash cans, and they'll actually spontaneously combust when they're compressed in that cotton like that. So we definitely want to make sure that it's hung up somewhere, that it's not going to catch on fire, that nothing is compressed, and we do that in a safe manner. Now, just a word about the preparation of this garment before I started. I bought it, it was brand new. I brought it home, removed all the tags and all of that type of stuff off of it, made sure I had no those little tape stickers and the needles and all of that type of stuff. And then I washed it. And first I washed my wash machine to get rid of any fabric softeners or any type of bleach or anything that could have been in there. After I ran a cycle with that, I used my homemade soap formula, no perfumes and bleaches and all of that, and I washed that garment in hot water. Once it was finished, I fluffed it out, threw it in the dryer, once again with no fabric softeners, no chemicals, no nothing. Just threw it in the dryer and dried it on hot. And the idea was to take those cotton fibers and have them shrink up and be as tight as they could be. That's another reason why the jacket is a little bit large on me. It'll make up for any of that shrinkage that might occur, but I want those fibers to be good and tight as this chemical treats and gets in there and starts binding between those fabrics. So I'm gonna get this hung up now, and remember, we put a drop cloth down. That's something else. We don't want to take that. We've might have spilt some of this chemical on it. We don't want to fold that up and put it away either. Anything that's fabric that has come in contact with that boiled linseed oil and that odor and the minerals, our chemicals that we were using, it slipped my mind at the moment. That's how fast it goes. But anyway, anything that we've put in there, we don't want to compress it. We're going to put this stuff away. We want to completely saturate it in water, clean it up real good, use proper fire safety when you're handling this stuff. Okay, I'll bring you back as we let this garment dry, and over the course of the next few days, I anticipate this thing taking a minimum of 2 weeks to really dry out well. So I'll bring you back and we'll see how it turns out. Until then, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. We'll see you later. Okay guys, we're back, and after letting this thing sit outside for a week and then another three days and nights inside the garage, it has completely dried. There is still a little bit of a smell, and the only way I know to describe it is it smells like the chemicals that we soaked it in. It's light now. It has dispersed quite a bit, but this garment is pretty daggone stiff. So I'm going to try to unbutton it here, and we'll put it on and see how it does. See if it's shrank any. And we'll step over there and see how the water repellency does too. So I tell you what, while I get this thing unbuttoned, you hang tight and I'll be right back. Okay, we finally got it unbuttoned, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty stiff, but I just worked this one sleeve a little bit and it's softening right up. The other side I left just like it was. Well, looks like it didn't shrink up any. The color turned out good. There's really It may be a little bit darker, I don't know. Maybe the camera will pick it up, but I don't see any variations in the color at all, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now for the big test. Let's try the water repellency. Well, looks pretty daggone good. Let's see if we can get up here so you can see it. Tilt the camera there a little bit, Leanne. Let's see if we can show that just sitting there in a puddle. And I don't know if it's going to be waterproof or water repellent, but it's not coming through the inside. So right now I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go ahead and wear this for the next couple of days and see how it performs. But I got to tell you, so far I'm pretty happy. We'll see if that smell continues to dissipate, and I'll let you know in the future. But until then, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. God bless.